Hello and welcome to episode 255 of my podcast all about knitting and crochet and my yarn shop here in Wiesbaden, Germany. I'm Kiko and today is December 2nd, 2024. And today I'm wearing my beautiful spiral crochet granny square. Crocheted out of opal sock yarn. Some of it is leftover yarn, and then I used two full balls of yarn and then one partial ball of yarn. And I found if I only fold down one corner a little bit, not like half the shawl, this really sits quite nicely on my shoulders because the tips come forward more than if I made a proper triangle out of it. And I really like it. It looks a little as if I had sleeves. I have a bit of a collar. My neck is really nice and warm. So I think this is probably my favorite way of wearing this. But of course you can do other things. Let me quickly show you the complete square. I think you can see that it's the shelf shines through a little more. So I did severely block it to open it up. It has got a nice size now, and it's it feels a bit lighter. It's definitely not lighter. It's the same amount of material, but it does I think it has a nicer drape now and feels nicer now that it's washed and blocked. I almost forgot to wash it. I washed it last night because last night I started to think about what to wear today and I realized I should have washed and blocked it. So I washed it last night and blocked it and it was dry this morning. So if I fold it as a triangular scarf, I would probably try and not fold it exactly in half. And then I think this is also nice to wear. It's a bit less over the arms. I could wear it like this if I wanted more warmth on my back and over my shoulders and in my neck. And I think it would also sit quite nicely if you pull it up high enough. If you only wear it like this, I think then it'll slip off easily. But like this is quite nice. And if you want to wear it more like a scarf, you could also roll it up a little like this. And then it's less over your shoulders. One could put a jacket on and just have this like in front, underneath the jacket or on top or something. Yeah, really happy with how this turned out. I think I will wear it regularly whenever the colors fit. Yes, it was a bit of a problem this morning what to wear with it, but I thought this blue and grey and a little white pullover matches quite well. There's quite a bit of blue in the shawl, and the other colors all go nicely with blue. So this is one of the Raglanos I knit. Raglano is a pattern by Nicolor, and it's a top-down raglan pullover. It's a free pattern, and all you need is your swatch and the size you want to knit. And I changed it a little. I had to think what I changed. So with the normal Raglano is what you do is you increase some stitches for the fronts and then you cast on all the remaining stitches in one go. And I did the increases like a V-neck until I had enough stitches, and then I started knitting in the round, and my neckline is a lot smaller than she usually then you get if you follow her instructions perfectly. So I did change a few things, but I'm quite happy. Before I started knitting, I was thinking of putting in some ribbing afterwards? I don't think I did, because the whole pullover is knit in rib pattern, so I don't really need another ribbing in the neckline. So yeah, the whole pullover is knit in a knit 2 purl 2 pattern. I kept 2 stitches in between the increases so that it sort of fits with the pattern. Did I do decreases? I did a few decreases for the sleeves, and then there's no ribbing at the ends of the sleeves or the front and back because it's all in rib pattern anyway, and I really like it a lot. I managed to knit it fairly loosely. I tend to end up with pullovers that are tighter than I like them, but like this, I'm really happy. It's very, very comfortable. it's the yoke is deep enough to give me a lot of space to move and everything. And because of the colors, they are fairly subdued for what I usually knit or crochet. But it's good to have something like this so I can pair it with all my colorful scarves. So I'm really happy with the pullover and with the combination of the two. Now, when I put this on, I tried to, because the colors come out differently in this square, I decided to use the corner that has a lot of blue to fold that, to wear that at the top, thinking it might look nice. I don't know. Yeah, but that's what I'm wearing today. Ta-da. Okay, then on to finished objects, and I actually have 3 finished objects, but I managed to cast on more than 3 new projects. I'll explain about those in a bit, but let's start with the finished objects, and the oldest of those is actually the Go Dynamo shawl. I was a bit surprised. I thought the sock couple would be older, but no, I started this before I cast on the sock couple. So this is the oldest of my finished objects. And I'll stand up again. I finished my Go Dynamo shawl by Stephen West. So there wasn't a lot to do last week. I think I was already in somewhere in this pattern, and then there was actually another decrease row where you decrease a lot of stitches, and then the last few rows really worked up very quickly. Basically, I'm really happy with the shawl. The only problem, as you can see here, is this keeps folding up, and I think that's because I didn't knit enough rows, because I made this one mistake in the pattern there. So I'm really, really excited to see how this blocks out. I will take photographs of this shawl lying down before washing and blocking, and then I'll take a picture how I've blocked it, and then I'll take another picture what it looks like once I take the pins out to see if it sort of comes back together or something. Yeah, but apart from the edge folding up, I'm really, really happy with how this came out. The knitting was really enjoyable. I really enjoyed the different patterns and the different directions of knitting a lot. So really happy with that. I used 2 different colorful opal yarns, and then I used 2 different mohair yarns as my mohair there. So this is a lightly darker orange. Then the mohair I used with these stripes, and then I used a solid color turquoise in these bits so that the slip stitch pattern would show. Yeah, so I think that's about it. Really happy with this. Really looking forward to washing and blocking this. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to forget about this one, because I'm so excited to see what the difference is going to be. By the way, I did take pictures of this square before and after blocking, and there is quite a bit of change in the size, and I already uploaded the pictures to Ravelry if you want to have a look. Okay, then the next finished objects are her socks. And because her socks and his socks are one project, it's now not only a finished object, but also a finished project. And really happy I got those done plenty of time before Christmas. Now all I have to make sure is that I don't forget to send them. I remember one year I had finished them so early I almost forgot to send them. So this pair, the colors almost match. It's just a little bit of a they don't quite line up. That's what I'm trying to say. So the toe looks quite different, which is nice. With his socks, the difference was a lot bigger. So it was like the dark part was here and the light is almost like a switch, which I really enjoy. And I'm happy to have finished them. I really enjoyed knitting the pattern, which is a very, very simple pattern. But I've already planned 2 more pairs of socks out of 6-ply yarn in this pattern, 1 pair for my sister and 1 pair for myself. I'll knit that next year, because this year I'm not knitting socks for myself, except for the exception that I'm going to talk about in a minute. So these are done. And then the last finished object for today is, of course, I think it's Nori. Is he Nori? I think so. So this is the first proper gnome that I knit from Sarah Shearer's book. And I'm saying the first proper gnome because I already knit the mystery knit-along gnome that she put together from her own book, where she used one hat and a different body. So the combination that we knit in the knit-along is not in the book, but he's in the book not exactly like this, because of course I changed a few things. I put some glitter into the beard, and instead of putting 2 pockets onto the beard, I have 1 pocket on the beard and 1 pocket up here. And a friend of mine gave me a snowflake to put into the hat, which I think is adorable and beautiful. And it perfectly goes with the glitter yarn, the silver glitter in the beard. So I think that's fantastic. And this pocket he uses mostly to keep his hand warm, because he's left-handed. He does all the work with his left hand, and then the right hand can stay nice and warm. Yeah, really happy with that. What else is there to say? I don't think there's a lot to say. He's a finished object, but not a finished project, because I decided to have one big project for all the gnomes in the book. So I'll keep that project open until I have knit at least 8 gnomes. I will probably call it a finished project then, but I may add more gnomes if I do these mix and match gnomes in the book, or maybe you re-knit another gnome because I want to have a second one, or I want to give one away or something. Yeah, so finished object, not a finished project, but I'm really happy with this finished gnome. So these were my 3 finished objects, and then on to works in progress. I did not knit on any of the socks that I have already on the go, but I cast on a new one. And the reason that I cast that on, that was, it's a specific reason. Let me try and explain. Last week, I finished a few projects, and I thought, well, you can cast some new projects on. And I cast on 2 new projects. No, I cast on 3 new projects. For certain reasons. And then I realized that last week had the 1st of December was in last week. And I actually signed up, or I bought the pattern for 3 mystery advent knit-alongs. So basically there were supposed to be 3 projects that I should cast on yesterday, which would have made 6 new projects, which I think is a premiere on my podcast. I don't think I ever had 6 new cast-ons. And I actually didn't cast on all the new knit-alongs. I only managed to start 2 of them. But it still means I have 5 new cast-ons this week, which is rather crazy. But that's my life. And the first of them is a sock. So I'm showing it first because it's a sock, and I usually start with my socks. I am knitting the Step into Advent sock, I think it's called, by Lisa K. Ross. And I also promise you to show you new yarn every podcast till the end of the year. So the new yarn that I'm going to show today is not actually a new yarn, it's just new colors. And that's the Alpaka sock yarn by Hansa Farm. So their sock yarn used to look like this. So it's 56 grams, so that you have the same gauge as if you used sheep sock yarn. And then they changed the label. So now they look like this, because now they're packing the yarn into paper bags instead of plastic bags, which I think is fantastic. And these are 2 of the colors that I'm using for the socks. And the new thing that I want to show are the new colors that they came out with recently. And I think I'll just show you the whole basket so it doesn't take too long. So it's the beautiful pink and purple. This is the deep ocean color. It's my favorite color. It's a dark blue and dark green mix. This is the color that I'm knitting my pullover with at the moment, the Wiener Hot pullover. Then there's this yellow color and a berry color. I already mentioned the purple, and this is the berry color, and this is the Himbeersahne is raspberry cream color. So, and the only color that's missing, because I don't have it here anymore and I didn't bring it from home, is the dark red. And the dark red is one of the colors I'm using for the sock. So for the sock, I'm using those two colors, the dark red and the white and the gray. And I may add in a bit of light green if I feel like it, and maybe a bit of the light pink, but I don't know about that yet. So that's the yarn, these are the colors, and that's what I've knit so far. And by the way, this project and the next one are mystery knit along, so if you don't want to look, be careful. I'm showing it now. So this is my start. So this is the ribbing I knit with the Deep Ocean colorway. And then with the light gray yarn, I again use the same sparkly something that I held together with the yarn. And then I did the same with the dark red. So this is the dark red sock yarn by Hansa Farm, but I held it double with this very thin red glitter yarn which is almost invisible. I think you can see it like this. Okay. And then I used the white, and that's what I've knit so far. There's the first clue had more rows, but the colors that I have to knit now are the same colors that I knit for the loop. So I put this on hold and started with the other project. I'm not showing anything right now, but I'm now going to talk about the cowl that I'm knitting. That's by Stephanie Lotvin from Tellybean Knits, and she designed a loop which is called, I forgot to write the names of the patterns. I'll try and remember to do that next week, but I will definitely link them underneath the video as soon as I've created the Ravelry page. But it's her Advent Mystery Knit Along Cowl. You need 6 colors for this cowl, and I am trying to use the same colors for all the mystery projects as much as possible. So for the cowl, I'm using the white and the gray, Deep Ocean, and the blue-green, and the pink and the dark red. These are the colors that I chose for the cowl. And the first clue, I finished the first clue already. I'm showing it now, and this is what we have so far. Oops, let me take this out. Oopsie. That was not very clever of me. Let me just quickly catch this. Okay, so we are using the blue-green and the Deep Ocean color, or color 1 and 2, I think. Or was it color 1 and 5? I don't know. Anyway, for me, it's those 2 colors. And she always starts her cowls with a triangle, and at a certain size, we will close it and then knit in the round. So this is the beginning triangle, and the color work is not a proper color work, but we knit one color at a time, so it's a bit of a slip stitch pattern, and I think it looks really nice. I'm really happy with it. And this, as I said, this is the same color that I'm using for my pullover, so once I finish the pullover and once I finish the cowl, I can wear them together. Looking forward to that. And yeah, really happy. So not showing it anymore. And I already got the second clue, but I haven't had time to look at it yet. So I'll see, with the cowl, we get a clue every day. So it's 12 days of clues. So I'll see if I can keep up. I've been jokingly saying that the only thing I'll knit in December are mystery knit-alongs, but we'll see about that. With the socks, it's not a clue every day, but I forgot how often we get clues. Oh, and the third mystery knit-along that I signed up for is certainly the Gnome mystery knit-along, which is Nana's Visit. And for that, I decided to use the dark red, the white and the light gray. And then the fourth color, she used a dark gray. And I couldn't quite make up my mind to use any of the other colors. So I'm actually going to use a dark gray. So I found a leftover ball of yarn in dark gray. I'm not quite sure whether it's sock yarn or whether it's a pure baby alpaca, but I don't mind. It has the right thickness, I think. So these 3 together with this dark red, no, I shouldn't show it. This will be the gnome, but I haven't started it yet. But I will hopefully do this today, and then I can show you something next week. So that's all the mysteries. So now you should be able to watch what I'm doing all the time. And even though I did not start the mystery gnome, I did start a gnome. And the reason for that is that a friend of mine asked me, and she's the one who designed or who wrote the pattern for the double knit socks. She asked me if I would knit her a gnome in exchange for knitting me double knit socks. And I would have knit her a gnome anyway, but I'm very happy to get a pair of double knit socks. So I decided to knit a gnome, and she wanted the gnome Gnifty. And if she had asked for any of the other gnomes, I would probably just have given her the gnome that I have. But I gave my Gnifty away, I think the week before she asked. So that was gone, so I had to knit another one. And I wanted to knit a Gnifty for myself anyway, so I may end up knitting 2 more Gnifties. That was the knit along The More You Know. And when I first knit that, it was a mystery knit along, so I didn't know how to choose the colors. And I ended up having 2 like speckled or marled yarns for the part that had the color work, and a solid color for the part that was just plain stockinette stitch. So with the next one, I wanted to do it differently. And now I'm knitting the one for my friend, and I asked her which colors she wanted, and she said red and blue. So I decided to use this red, this dark red, and this light blue. So I have a nice contrast for the slip stitch pattern. And I'm using a colorful opal yarn for the body, but I'm keeping this a secret for now to surprise her. And I started Gnifty, and you start with this garter stitch band that you start, and then you knit, and then you sew it together. No, I think she does a 3 needle bind off. I decided to do a kitchen stitch, but I think in the pattern it's a 3 needle bind off. Anyway, you start with this bit, and then I think this is the way it goes. And then I knit the hat in that direction, and then I'm going to knit the body down, if I remember correctly. And the hat will have color work, will have a slip stitch pattern. It's not a proper color work project. It's a slip stitch pattern with these 2 colors. And there will be another little surprise that you will be able to see next week. But I hope she's going to like these colors. And when I start knitting the body, you will understand why I chose this specific red and this specific blue. And I will, yeah, as I said, I hope she likes it. If she doesn't like it at all, I can still keep it because I need a Gnifty for myself. But we'll see about that. So that was another new project. Now for one old project, and that's the Secret Cove cowl that I'm knitting as part of the pattern battle using this colorway from the Opal subscription. And I finished the 5 bands of stockinette or of the pattern repeat, and I also finished the short rows. So looking from this side, this is like 6 pattern repeats, but on this side it's only 5 pattern repeats, and here you can see the short rows. So when you wear the cowl, you can have one bit that's a bit longer that you can wear to the front or on one shoulder or to the back or however you want to wear it. And now I'm at the point where I need to cast on stitches to do the knitted on lace edging. And I still haven't looked for beads, so maybe I'll look for beads, maybe I'll just start knitting. I don't know yet. Maybe I'll just do the mystery knit alongs. But I'm quite happy that I got this far, and I'm looking forward to knitting the knitted on edge. So, and then back to new projects, and also now to a new yarn. And I've already said to one of my friends that if Hansa Farm were sponsoring my videos, they could sponsor this episode, which they didn't do. I just show their yarn because I love doing that, because I love knitting their yarn. They actually came out with a new kind of yarn this year, and it's called 80% Alpa Wool Baby, 130 Big and Light. It's a long name, but basically what it is, it's 80% of baby alpaca, and it's 20% polyamide, and that 20% is like a very thin, what do you call it? A very thin something that you blow the baby alpaca fibers into. So this yarn is not spun the way normal yarn is spun, but they just blow the fibers into this nylon something. And that's what makes the yarn. So it's big, but it's also light, and it's very beautiful, and it's very, very soft. So they started by producing 9 colors, and I hope that everybody loves the yarn the way I do, and they will produce more colors. So I'll show you all the 9 colors quickly. It's the white, it's the beige, it's the light green. So the colors are the same colors that they have in their other yarns, but it's just not all of them. It's just 9 of them. So the dark gray, the berry color, and especially the colors that are sort of mild, they look quite different from the spun yarn, which is so exciting. This, by the way, is the dark red that I'm using for my mystery knit-alongs for all 3 of them. This is the dark blue that I like a lot. And then this is the light gray. And that was the first yarn that I started knitting with. But I didn't knit a project. I just knitted a little gauge swatch because I wanted to see what it looks like knit up. And the interesting thing about this yarn is the yarn on the ball is really soft. But when you start knitting it, it's so much softer even. I don't understand. So the recommended needle size is 5 to 8 millimeters, which is a big difference in sizes. But I use a 6 millimeter yarn to knit this swatch, so it's fairly tight, but it's so soft. And the last color that I haven't shown you yet is the light blue. This is my sister's favorite color by Hansa Farm. And I started knitting her a hat. And for the pattern, I used this book, Eine runde Sache, Knit Around or something is the English title. I'll link it underneath the video. And I am knitting this hat, which is knit from the top down. And there's 2 versions in the book. It's the one with the knit 1 purl 1 pattern, or you can knit it with the knit 2 purl 2 pattern. I've done that hat before in the past, but I've never done the knit 1 purl 1 version. So that's what I'm doing now. And this is what the hat looks like at the moment. And it's so incredibly soft. And so you start here, you do 1 round of purls for some reason, and then you go into the knit 1 purl 1 pattern, and then you have the increases that make quite a nice crown, I think. And then you can do as many increases as you need, and then you stop increasing and you just knit down. And my plan is to knit the complete ball because my sister does want a folded up brim for this hat, and I think I'll stop when I've finished knitting the 1 ball and show you how far I got, and then I'll talk to my sister and see if she wants more than that or whether that's big enough for her, because I am thinking this might be enough. Her head is not as big as mine, so but whether or not it's enough or not, I just want to show you how much of a hat you can get out of 1 ball of yarn. And then, I'll see how and when I can finish the hat. So, another new project. What else have we got? Another new project. I'm now coming to the garments, but I cast on a new garment, but a very small one. So I started a baby cardigan that I've been wanting to knit for a long time, because the last cardigan that I knit for that baby, she's grown out of it, so she needs a new one. I thought I'm using the merino yarn by Schachenmeier. It's the merino 130, I think, or is it 120? I don't know. But it's their DK weight merino yarn. And this is what I've done so far. So this is the back of the cardigan. This is actually knit in pieces. And I was thinking of changing that, but I thought there is quite a bit of pattern. It's not too much pattern. It's a very nice pattern. Anyway, I decided to do it exactly the way it's written. So I'm starting with the back. It gets a nice pattern in the middle of the back, and there will be some leaves. And the name of the pattern is Little Buds, and it's from the ebook Baby Botanicals by Alana Darkos. I bought the ebook probably several years ago. I never knit anything from it, I think. So I'm really happy to finally use one of the patterns. And this is what I have so far. And I want to, yeah, this is another knit I want to finish by Christmas. So we'll see about that. But I'm enjoying it. I'm really happy I finally started. Now to the bigger garments. One of them is my Wiener Hop pullover. And I finished the second sleeve. And I must have finished that at the beginning of last week because I thought I'd already finished it in the last video. And I didn't want to show the pullover. But when I checked the video, I hadn't finished the sleeve. So now both sleeves are done. And I continued knitting on the front and back. So I finished the pattern that I was on when the first ball of yarn was done. And I started the stockinette band. And yeah, that's where I'm at. And I'm really looking forward to having this pullover. And the other pullover I knitted on is the Arctic pullover. I think it's the only other pullover I have on the needles at the moment. And I did not knit a lot on it, but I put a long cable in for you to see what the yoke looks like at the moment. Let me see. This must be the back because there are some short rows. So there are no short rows here and many short rows here. So this should probably be the way it's worn. And so that was the pattern that I'd finished last week. And I'd just started with this pattern. And it's not very clear. It's the white, it's the light gray. And I almost finished knitting the round with the three colors, the white, the light gray, and the light brown. So not very obvious, but I'm really happy with the size. I tried it on. There should be a picture on Ravelry with me wearing this. And yeah, I would just enjoy continue knitting on this. And this is another pullover I'm looking forward to wearing, hopefully this winter. And that brings me to the last project, which is my spiral granny something crochet along that we are doing. And I'm crocheting a blanket out of the Regato yarn by Wolle Rödel. And I just finished the second ball. It was probably not a full ball. I'm not quite sure. It didn't have a ball band anymore. So I probably used it for something else already. But this is what I have so far. I'm really happy with how quickly this grows because I'm using a 7mm needle and fairly big yarn. And I have one more ball in this color that I want to add now. Then I'll go back to this color. I have one or two balls in that color. I will add those next. And then I will probably start mixing in all my leftover yarns that I didn't use the last time. I did a leftover crochet regatta or something. Yeah, so that's almost everything I knit and crocheted last week. I finally did a little more knitting on my mystery project. So it seems to be going forward. So I will probably tell you more about it either next week or in 2 weeks' time. And I will talk about it whether it works out or not, just so that you know what I was planning. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!